One day, a king was killed by his own son. Far, far away in a very peaceful small village surrounded by mountains, there was a very wise king who had 2 grown sons. The 2 sons was very obedient to their father. Likewise the queen. When the king was getting old, it was time for him to choose who will be the heir to the throne. It was a very hard decision for him because the 2 sons were born on same day. They were twins. One of the sons was more loved by his father, which means that the king will definitely hand over the throne to the son he loved before his death. So one fateful night while the king was far asleep, one of his sons took a knife and sneaked into the king's room. He checked and realized that no one was watching. So he went closer to his father and stabbed his father with a knife. Immediately the king opened his eyes and saw that it was his own son who stabbed him. "Ah, my son! Why did you do this?" The king managed to speak while struggling with his life. "I'm sorry, father. I have to do this. I need the throne," the son replied. "Ah, my son, if the throne is yours, then let the gods grant it to you. But if the throne is not yours, then let the gods show you no mercy," the king said, and died. The son quickly took the knife and placed it silently on the hand of the queen, who was also asleep, making it look like the queen was responsible for the evil act. The son sneaked out of the room without being noticed by any guards. The next morning, very early, as tradition demands, the guards went to wake the king like usual, but they met the king dead and found a knife in the hands of the queen, who was sleeping. "Oh no! They freeze! The king is dead, everyone!" "The king has been killed by the queen," the guards shouted. Soon everyone at the palace gathered at the king room to witness the incident, including the 2 sons of the king. "Please, I'm innocent. I did not kill the king. I don't have any idea how the knife got into my hands," the queen cried. "Shut your mouth, woman. The evidence is already in your hands. You killed my father," the first son said to his mother. "No, my son. I can never do such an evil thing to your father. Please trust me," the queen begged. The second son went closer to the queen and said, "Mom, please tell me the truth. Are you responsible for this?" "Please, look into my eyes. Do you think I can hurt an ant or even talk of killing a human being?" the queen said. "Please, everyone, my mother is innocent. Like, how do you people think she can do such an act? She is innocent," the second son said politely. "And how do you know she is innocent when she has a knife in her hands?" the first son said to his brother. "Justice for the king! Justice for the king!" The people began shouting. Then a palace elder came and instructed everyone to stay quiet. "As our tradition demands, whoever kills must be killed in revenge, so let the queen be buried alive," the elder said. "Yes, we agree with you, our elder. Let the queen face the consequences of killing our innocent king," the people shouted. Soon the queen was dragged out of the room. She was taken to the main palace. All the other villagers and village elders were informed, and they all came immediately. The queen knelt down in the middle of all the people who gathered at the king's residence, and they began judgment. One of the elders got up and began speaking. "My people, the deed has been done, and the evidence is clear. You all know our traditions. Who kills the innocent must be punished to death," said the elder. Prince Ikenna got up and began pleading with the elders. "Please, my elders, don't judge without proper investigations." "At least let consult the chief priest at first," Prince Ikenna said. "There is nothing to consult. The evidence is here in the queen's hand," the people shouted. My elders, don't you think the prince is right? At least, let's seek answers from the gods before doing anything," one elder said. "We don't need answers from the gods when we already has the answer in our front. I know she is my mother, but she will face the consequences of her crime," Prince Obi said. "The queen will be buried alive. We have no option than that. After we bury our beloved king, the queen will face her fate," said the elders. "Take her to the prison room where she will stay without food until the day she will be sentenced to death," an elder instructed. "Oh, please, my elders, have mercy on me. I don't have any hand in the king's death," Queen pleaded. "Shut your mouth, woman. Now take her to the prison room till the king is buried." The guards quickly started dragging the queen to the prison room like a slave. "Please show some respect on her. She is still the queen," Prince Ikenna said with tears in his eyes. "Take her away. She doesn't deserve to be treated like a queen anymore because of her evil deed," Prince Obi said with anger. The guards dragged her mercilessly into the prison room and pushed her into it like a slave. Prince Ikenna cried bitterly like a woman. He never expected such thing to happen to his mother. "This is beyond my expectations," he said silently. Soon burial arrangements were made for the king, and the king was buried peacefully. The queen, who was lonely in the prison, cried out her whole life. She was also very hungry. She hadn't eaten for days, and she is already starving to death. One night she heard a footsteps near the prison. She looked and saw that her son, Prince Ikenna. "Mom, I brought you food. Please, eat quickly so I will return the plates so no one will find out," Prince Ikenna said. "My son, you don't have to take this risk to bring me food." "Mom, I can't watch you starve while there is food wasting in the palace. And I pray the gods speak on your behalf." "Thank you, my son." So the queen rushed the food and gave the plates back to the prince so no one will suspect the act. The next day, the elder instructed the guards to bring out the queen for the death sentence. Soon all the villagers followed the queen as they dragged her to an abandoned land in the village to bury her alive. The two princes followed the crowd and other elders too. They took her to the place which was already prepared for her arrival, threw all her belongings into the pit, and pushed her into the already dug grave. Prince Ikenna stood with tears all over his face. "Please spare her life," he cried. Soon after some elders spoke, the guards began pouring stones and sands into the pit till it covered the queen completely. Prince Ikenna tried dragging with them to stop, but they held him back. He cried like a kid till he got tired. Soon everyone began departing from the scene where the queen was buried. Then suddenly a strange wind blew through the whole village. When they got back to the palace, Prince Ikenna quickly went into his room and locked himself without talking to anybody that night till the next day. When morning came, the elders gathered at the king's palace to discuss about who will be the heir to the throne. An elder got up and began speaking. "My elders, since the king is dead and have been buried peacefully, justice was also served. Now I think this is the right time to choose another king to continue ruling the kingdom peacefully," he said, and sat down. "You have spoken well, Mr. Alfred, thanks to the gods that the king left us with two grown and strong sons who will continue after his death. But my question is, who will be the king?" another elder said, and sat down. "Well, my elders, I suggest we call the villagers to choose from the two sons who will be their king," an elder responded. "My elders, I think we should give them a test to see who is capable of ruling this great village," another elder suggested. My good elders, this is a serious issue. We cannot just call the villagers to choose who will be their king or set a test to see who is capable. No. We need to consult the chief priest first so we can know who the gods want to be the king," Mr. Alfred said. So all the elders agreed with what Mr. Alfred said by going to consult the chief priests on who to be the king, and the elders dismissed the meeting and they all went to their various homes. While Mr. Alfred was going home, he stopped at a point where no one was watching and waited patiently till Prince Obi came to meet him there, and they started discussing. "Mr. Alfred, I'm sorry I kept you waiting," Prince Obi said. "No problem, my prince, or should I say my king. Well, I did exactly as we planned. I convinced all the elders, and they all agreed that we should consult the chief. Now the next thing is to go and see the chief priest with the bribe immediately," Mr. Alfred said with evil smile. "Mr. Alfred, you are truly a wise man. Let go to bribe the chief priest immediately. I can see myself sitting on that throne already. And if it happens, you will be my assistant. And I will give you many lands and put you in charge of everything in this village," Prince Obi said. "I really want that, my prince. Don't worry, our plan will work and the throne will be all yours without stress," Mr. Alfred replied. So they both went together to the house of the chief priest, and they explained everything to the priest. They also offered him 2 goats and a large sum of money. Without wasting time, the priest accepted the offer and told them not to worry. He knows how to handle the situation. "Consider yourself the king," the chief priest said, and told them to go home. Prince Obi and Mr. Alfred left the house of the chief priest happily and went back to the palace. "My prince, don't worry at all. Tomorrow the chief priest will be here to pronounce you as the new king in front of all the villagers. I will tell the town crier to announce to all the villagers, so everyone will be gathered here by tomorrow," Mr. Alfred said, and went to his house. The next day, everyone gathered at the palace to witness the choosing of the new king. Soon the chief priest walked into the palace and began speaking incantations. Then he instructed the 2 princes to come forward before him. So Prince Ikenna and Prince Obi went forward and stand in the front of the chief priest. The priest threw some stones on the floor and said some strange things. My elders and great people of Obosi Kingdom, the gods have spoken. The gods has chosen Prince Obi to be the new king of this great kingdom," the priest said. Immediately everyone started clapping and singing to his name. "Long live the king," they say. Prince Ikenna wasn't bothered about the throne. He was only feeling sad about his late mom who was eliminated for no reason. The chief priest took the royal beads and put them on Prince Obi. He then took the royal crown and put it on the head of Prince Obi, and immediately everyone bowed down and called him king. Drinks were served and people ate and drank till they got filled. They all went home. After everyone left, Mr. Alfred went back to the palace to discuss their successful plan with the new king. My king, you can see our plan worked as planned. I hope you will fulfill your promise," Mr. Alfred asked. "Don't worry, Mr. Alfred, you are truly a wise friend. I will surely return the favor since I am now the king,"